All right, guys, we are in 2022. This is Reflex, and we have count 'em, two tracks to show you. Sit tight. This is the first track. This is Southwick by Red Rider. And we have Maggiora by Red Rider as well. Both tracks are crazy good. Crazy good. But this is brand new, came out a day ago, 2 days ago, maybe 3 days. I'm not sure by the time this video gets up, but this is Southwick and it is crazy. I mean, not one bad thing to say about it, not one criticism. It is so well done. The track, it's different because it's really rough, okay? It should be. It's really rough. Tons of pre-made roughness. The deformation is awesome. And the ruts are great, but the part about the track that's really fun is that it is really, as rough as it is, you can fly around this track, okay? But it can punish you. So I had a ton of laps where we were flying, right? We were flying, looking good, and halfway through the lap, I would get out of a rut or get down a really rough straight and crash. Like, just flat out big spill. Okay? And I didn't want to show that lap, so I show you these two where it might not be as fast. I mean, it's fast, but not as fast. I'm not a pro at the game, so we're not the best anyways, but at least we get through the entire track in a decent way. But it's a very fast track. But again, it can punish you if you get sideways, especially as rough as it is. And so I found that to be kind of unique because when I play really rough tracks, a lot of the time you have to slow down a bit. And you do have to take it easy on some of the ruts. I mean, they grab you, but you can push out over them. Or if you have some braking bumps into the corners, you can pop right over the berm and wipe out. So yeah, the track does require a certain amount of skill and patience to it. So it's awesome. It's a fantastic track. Go check it out. You need to try this. Also, this is Red Rider. This is his send-off. Okay, this is Red Rider's send-off from Reflex. He's done. Say it ain't so. Now, he isn't done making tracks, but he's done in Reflex. He said he's moving on to MX bikes, and I'm happy for him. I'm very happy for him and wish him the best, and he's a great content maker in motocross games, and I'm sure that he'll translate what he's done with Reflex over to MX bikes, but it's sad because he's so good at making Reflex content to lose, one of the best creators out there. It's sad. It is sad, but I'm happy for him and wish him the best in his new adventure in making tracks for MX bikes, and we love that game too, so it'll be fun to try out some of the stuff he wants to do in that game, as well as it was in Reflex. It's just, Reflex is my favorite moto game of all time, and it doesn't get a ton of content. It used to get tons all the time, but it still gets some. We've done some new stuff by Philip, and there's other people that make great content, but there isn't a ton. The MX bikes, that game is amazing, and the community that makes the mods is flourishing. And so there's always content. Like every day there's new tracks and new bikes and gear and all kinds of sweet stuff coming out for that game. And so they gain Red Rider, which is great, but the point is, it's sad because the Reflex community loses a great content creator in Red Rider 197. So a great send-off for him, moving over to a different game. And, we'll always remember all the great stuff, especially his replicas that he makes. He is second to none. Amazing track. I cannot stress enough how much you need to try this out. I mean, we're all familiar with Southwick, and it's been done in a bunch of different games, but fantastic. Is good or better than any version of Southwick I've ever seen. And this is Maggiora. Now, this track, it is new. I believe it came out before the AWLS compound by Philip. I just didn't see it. If I had known it was there, we definitely would have tried it out, but I had no idea. So this track was actually probably tougher for me than Southwick, and the reason it isn't as rough, it has tons of ruts, and these ruts, they grab you probably a bit better than Southwick did, and it makes sense. You know, Southwick, pretty sandy, you know, you could push out over those a bit, but the ruts grab you really good. There's tons of ruts. It is rough, obviously. It isn't as rough. I wouldn't say obviously because I'm not super familiar with Maggiora in real life, but it isn't as rough as Southwick, but it is rough. And the reason, I don't really know why I had so much trouble here. I think it's because I was trying really hard to get into the ruts every time, like perfect, and it just didn't, I don't know. We just couldn't hit it right. We get a bit sideways. It is rough. It is rough. The roughness does affect you, especially going into the corners. It does affect you, but yeah, I don't know. I tried playing on the track on the 250 two-stroke, and you can, but I don't know. I had that was sick, right? All intentional, pro play. Look at that scrub. Kind of weird. Wasn't intentional, actually, but was pretty sweet. I actually had a better lap than this one, but that was such a sweet scrub that I had to show this lap. So, yeah, I don't even remember what we were saying, but the track, it's fantastic. It really is, and you need to try it out. Both the tracks are by Red Rider 197, so both of them, but especially Southwick, would have been his send-off from the game. So, I don't know, just not enough good things to say. I mean, there is more than enough good things to say about Red Rider and the content he makes. I can't, I feel like I'm repeating myself too much because it's true. He's given us so much content over the years, and everything has been fantastic, from his replicas to his, he might have done a few requests even. I believe he did, I forget what track it was. It was a Texas track, but I believe he did that by request, and he's done some original stuff. There was a hybrid supercross track he did, Wild Wilderness. That supercross track was crazy. He had a motocross track, I believe it was last year, which was insane. Everything he does is fantastic, and maybe you guys don't care. Maybe some of you are just here to see the new content, what's new, and that's it. But for those of you that are still watching and do care, let this man know that you appreciate what he's done and you're excited for what he has for MX Bikes, because I am. I love that game too. Been playing it more than any other game out there, so moto game out there. I got to be clear on that because I do play a bunch of other games, but let him know he has your support, and yeah, can't wait to see what he does. Thank you, Red Rider. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.